Ugh. Boop. There we go. Look at you, goober. Oh, you don't want to be on your little chair? Something about the chair you just don't want to be on now? Hey, what the hell? Ah, fucking hell. God damn it. What is with, like, how this... what's with this thing? How do you, like, get shorter on us? Never had this issue up until fucking recently. What the fuck? Piece of fucking shit. This is even fucking worse. Great. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? Oh my... fucking god. Ugh. Piece of shit. Fucking eye. Right. Is it tune, Sean? I think that's on. And get these over here. There we go. Have this plugged in and boom. Goof. Little goofy boy. Anyway. Get some bowls loaded up here. Oh, and some tutages. Some musicals. Here we go. Yeah. There we go. Look at you. Oi, hey, blah, blah, blah. Sukaf. What the hell? Hey. Hey, stop it. Like, you can't stop a thing. You have to just, like, ignore me. Really? He honestly, like, thought I was gonna do something. He was like, oh god, no. It's like, I'm not doing nothing to you. I'm just gonna give you some head scratches and shit. God, what a fucking fruit. He's like, oh no, please. What did I ever do? Alright, there's going right there. Take some of that, take out, there we go. Anyway, I figured I'd at least have stream be a little topical for that. At least, if anything, to some very specific shit when it comes to a lot of this, like anti-LGBT shit. Honestly, if anything, just considering how much of that plays a major importance to me, and it just kind of like the realization of how deadly and serious shit really is. Because there's a hearing with the whole Club Q owner and with some of the people that were unfortunately involved in that, and it's pretty fucking damning, to be honest. And it just I think confirms in my mind of queer people arming up and actually getting guns, absolutely, because there's frankly no voting or no civility politics that are going to get rid of this. It's I'll just put it that way. There's going to be no other option besides, confronting this head on with fists. Because there's no other way to fight this. There ain't going to be legislation, voting, or civility politics, or debate broing, or community action that's just going to stop shit like this. It needs to be an aggressive, full-on front. An aggressive front. But unfortunately, that's not really exactly the case. But get more into it as we get into some of the details of it. But it's just for me, it just confirms that anyone that is especially fucking trans, but anybody that's LGBT on any spectrum needs to get armed up. Especially if they're in the South. They need to. It's for their fucking safety. Because who's to say some far-right religious extremist fascist fucking animal is going to raid their house and kill them? Who's to say that just won't happen randomly? Or any of this shit. These fucking fascist animals are, froth-mouthed and rabid, and they're out for blood, and they are wanting blood, and they're seeking it. Like a fucking pack of starving coyotes, they're sizing you up. Just how do we fucking get you? And don't be caught with your pants down. It's just at this point, considering the gun culture in this country, it's just gonna have to fucking suck it up. Because a predominance of the gun culture in this country is for the far right, and they're looking to use that for death, and for chaos, and for disorder, instead of defense, and responsibility and safety. So, it's start diluting this. Start having leftists and progressives and encouraging, fellow progressives and leftists to do the same. Because this is important. Because when your political opposition wants to do more than just legislate, or just push and encourage, but also kill and arm up and basically push for a very specific social narrative that should be enforced by the gun, then there's no other way around that but fighting that head on, directly on an evil, fighting ground. Because if not, they will crush you and walk all over you and eliminate you because you're a degenerate undesirable in their mind. So there's no other option. Well, there technically are, but they're not ones that you win at the end of the day. The ones where you win are the ones where you fucking fight. Not where you're like, oh, let's compromise. Oh, let's, legislate this instead and codify this and codify that. Challenge it in the courts. It's like, fuck your bureaucracy. Fuck your laws. Like, if they're enabling and protecting more death and discrimination against, queer folk and, and people like me and shit and trans folk, then fuck your law. Fuck your civility. I'd rather fight. Thank you very much. I looking at my ass Scott pants hanging down between the ankles. I know. Where is that little video I want to look? There it is. Yeah, it's at least for me, it's like a major, like, real serious fucking issue. And honestly, the worst thing about it is that I'm pretty much, like, in an area, or, like, not just in an area, but in, like, a, like, in a position where it's like, what could I do? Besides just take care of myself and my own. And, like, those that I know. And it's just like, I mean, it's not much even then, So it's just like, outside of that, what else can I do besides just raise the alarm bells? Because there are people who have been considered alarmists in the past. People like Demon Mama, Keffels, Xander Hall even. I mean, these, smaller, like, YouTubers or, like, smaller, like, leftist voices that have been raising this alarm, and for a while, for, like, months. Even, like, from, like, last year, even 2020. Like, it's, you're being hyperbolic. You're being a little, like, extreme with this. And it's like, no, they're going to keep going. They're going to keep getting more violent. They're going to get more aggressive. And they're not going to give a fuck about what laws are. And what do you know? That's happening. It's just, like, curious how maybe the alarmists are the ones that might have an idea about, like, the worst case scenarios and seeing the path of how that could turn out if you don't address it. And it wasn't very well addressed at all for fucking years and, frankly, generations. And now look at where the fuck we are. Hey. Oh. Hey. What the hell? What's that about? What? Hey. So what? What's up, boy? That's too good. Sit. Good boy. These are crimes against humanity, not only me, millions of members of society. These are crimes against humanity. Hey, bro, get over here. Oh, you need some aqua. I just realized there are water bowls empty. This probably help you shut up. Here you go. Then, of course, you're just sitting down not giving a shit. You're a goof. Why do you think I'm gonna, like, bop your nose? I'm just giving you head scritches. Little pretzels. Little goof. Aww. Who's a good boy? Oh, what a good boy. He's just a goof. A little menace, but a goof nonetheless. Ugh. Here, let's play out a little more, then I'll get into this fucking video. If anything, honestly, the tune is actually pretty tangential to the issue, considering just the song itself, Crimes Against Humanity. Though it's more broad. I mean, obviously, he's talking about, like, you know, waterways being poisoned, fucking, like, toxic pollutants, from factories and shit. Like, it's kind of a big, broader song, but, I mean, in a indirect way, it also kind of hits these issues, too, considering, like, a lot of bigotry, ignorance, and, and all that type of shit. Sacred Reich is a fucking pretty epic band. And I just love how a lot of thrash, is honestly, it's in its early core roots, are very predominantly leftist as fuck. Like, it might not seem like it, but it definitely is. Like, Anthrax, for sure, is definitely lefty as hell when it comes to a lot of their songs. Sacred Reich, for sure. At least early Megadeth, before Dave Mustaine became a Christian weirdo and a right-wing conspiracy theorist. So, I mean, like, at least Dave Mustaine and, like, early Megadeth was. At least up until, like, the 90s or some shit. Then Megadeth starts sucking. But, at that point, well, I mean, I don't know. Megadeth as a band doesn't suck, but Dave Mustaine sucks. He's not really good anymore. I mean, still a good musician, but not really, like, a great guy. But nonetheless, it's at least early Megadeth. Fucking Destruction, fucking Exodus. Like, a lot of these bands had a lot of leftist elements in their music and shit. Sukov, come here. That's probably why he was barking, now that I think about it. Here, have some more notes. Here. Up. Up. Good boy. I'll save the last little bit for his food bowl, actually, since there's not much left in there. Ah! My ounce. I'll put you over there. Actually, I'll just put you right there. Because I don't really need you at the moment, because I got all the weed I actually need over here. Sweet. Anyway, while I get this little bowl loaded up. No. No. Oh, you don't want me to load a bowl, Mike? But here, we'll have this popped up. Delve into this fun little escapade of deep thought and conversation, because this, I mean we pretty much like started right off the bat with it, so I'm not, like I said, getting more into details of shit. And like I said, honestly, like a lot of this type of stuff here, it really just like vindicates more and more for me, the whole element of like really just, I mean, fundamentally just having like a new Pink Panthers movement and shit. And like a whole, like, pretty much essentially like a whole nother level of Stonewall at this point. Because it's kind of getting to the point where it needs to be a fucking necessity, especially for a Pink Panthers movement. Like, that needs to be a fucking necessity. There.
Believe it or not, it's been almost a month since the shooting at Club Q in Colorado Springs, and the House Oversight Committee held a hearing on anti-LGBTQ plus hate, and they brought in some of the survivors of the Club Q shooting, as well as the owner, Matthew Haynes, and I wanted to talk about their testimonies because what they say, even knowing the story and being familiar with this, was genuinely shocking to me, and I do think that this is important. So first, let's get some context. Alex Bollinger of LGBTQ Plus Nation explains, the House Oversight Committee held a hearing Wednesday on anti-LGBTQ plus hate. A recent study showed that anti-LGBTQ plus sentiment drove an increase in far-right protests this year, and a report from GLAAD found 124 incidents or threats of violence against drag events in 2022 so far. This past summer, Pride celebrations were besieged with violent attacks from the far right as conservatives online started accusing LGBTQ plus people of grooming children, another term for sexual predation. Quote, "We are being slaughtered and dehumanized across this country in communities you took oaths to protect," said Matthew Haynes, the owner of the LGBTQ plus bar Club Q in Colorado Springs, Colorado. A shooter with a history of anti-LGBTQ plus rhetoric in November entered the bar and killed 5 people and injured 18 others. Quote, "LGBTQ issues are not political issues," he continued. "They are not lifestyles, they are not beliefs or choices. They are basic human rights." And he is—
I mean, that's true because they are. I mean, it's like, honestly, like, people could think, they're like lifestyle choices or like a culture or whatever the fuck. I mean, the thing is, like, I guess there is like a side element of culture to it. But it's not like, some predominant thing, that's a part of it. Like, being LGBT, you don't have to be like, emulating like LGBT-related aspects of culture, like, as I am, but, I mean, nothing directly about me says, I'm a queer person. I wear, like, some, like, outdoor, type of shit, usually rustic stuff, military surplus shit, like, I'm not exactly someone that strikes out, like, I'm a queer person. Outside of maybe just, like, maybe just my natural flamboyancy that I have sometimes, I guess, but beyond that, like, not really, so it's just like, you don't necessarily have to emulate the culture to be LGBT, because it's just a basic human right. It's just being you as a person, and, I mean, if anything, it's just a part of the human experience and the human condition.
Correct about that. Now, I don't think that any of you will be shocked to know that Republicans, during this committee hearing, did not take the anti-LGBTQ plus rhetoric seriously.
Of course
not. In fact, they both sides to make it seem as if hateful rhetoric on both sides is equally leading to violence, when that is obviously—
despite the fact that, like, pro-LGBT rhetoric or, like, defensive rhetoric towards, for LGBT people and queer folk and shit are not leading to violence. I mean, if anything, it's leading to advocacy towards community defense and protecting ourselves. Like, that's what it's leading to, is more conversations and being more honest and blunt about those topics, and limited but not included to, like, learning, hand-to-hand self-defense, and to even, having a gun, maybe, it's just like, depending on the circumstances, and very likely, it's just all these different issues. Like, I mean, like, pro-LGBT or, like, pro-lefty rhetoric does not lead to, like, fucking violence. That's honestly, like, fucking insane, but, of course, it's Republicans who are trying to push it and try to both sides it, even though there is not even a remote close equivocation to any of it.
Equivalence, but it's just stupid. I'm sorry, it's just dumb. We all seen the rise in anti-LGBTQ plus violence this year, and that directly correlated with the increase in— I
mean, honestly, not only is it just dumb, but it's also kind of fucking insulting to one's basic intelligence if they actually have, like, a brain in their head.
Plus propaganda that we've been hearing from Fox News, individuals like Matt Walsh, Shia Rychick of Live With TikTok, and so all of this hateful rhetoric, it does have violent consequences. Now, I want to get to the study that was referenced in that article. This is a study from the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project, or ACLED, and here's what they say about the study that they just published on December 6th. After the attack on the Capitol in January of 2021 and through the November 2022 midterm elections, far-right mobilization has only continued to evolve in the United States. Currently, far-right activity in 2022 is on track to exceed the level of activity reported reported in 2021.
No shit.
By a significant uptick in white nationalist, white supremacist, and anti-LGBTQ plus organizing around the country. Now, here's some key trends that they found with respect to the LGBTQ plus community. Anti-LGBTQ plus mobilization, the second most salient driver, has fueled the largest increase in far-right protest activity this year.
No, I mean, no shit. Like, I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer. Like, most of, like, the far-right organizing has basically been against drag shows or, you know, events that happen to be, like, at, you know, gay spaces or, like, queer spaces and shit. Like, I mean, it's pretty much almost been, at this rate, either that or literal fucking Nazis organizing, which happens to, you know, also be at these events.
15% of demonstrations involving far-right groups have been anti-LGBT+, up from less than 3% last year. Though not limited to organized far-right actors, these groups have taken an increasingly large role in anti-LGBT+ mobilization around the country. Far-right groups have engaged in over 3 times more anti-LGBT+ demonstrations than they did last year. 55 events in 2022, up from 16 events in 2021, and in 3 times as many states, 18 in 2022, up from 6 in 2021. At least 150 incidents of violence targeting civilians have been reported in the United States this year, with more than 20 specifically targeting the LGBT+ community. This is up from over 100 total events last year, with at least 7 targeting the LGBT+ community. So, long story short, we've seen a surge in anti-LGBTQ+ violence, and they're not slowing down anytime soon.
Of course not.
Every single LGBTQ+ inclusive event or tradition is now subject to non-stop right-wing scrutiny. And
potential violence. Which is at least a part of the reason why, you know, these, you know, like, queer folk and, you know, these spaces and the people that usually, like, run or organize them or own, you know, these places need to seriously and very, like, you know, deeply consider about, like, you know, having forms of self-defense in these places. Or having people that, you know, are kind of like a form of security, like, you know, plainclothes security or something. Because, like, yeah, I mean, there needs to legitimately be a line of defense against this type of shit. Because there's been events where there's, like, you know, gay events or, like, you know, drag events or whatever the fuck going on. And, you know, these right-wingers will come up, obviously all armed to the teeth, wanting to spread their bullshit, as they always do. And whenever there's, you know, like queer activists or counter-protesters that are armed as well, you know, countering them, suddenly shit seems to just stagnate and nothing really fucking happens. And it ends up being not that big of a deal outside of, like, oh, see, you know, look at these, you know, queer weirdos, like, with their little toy guns, like, suddenly they downplay a lot of it and suddenly look like a bunch of bitches. Like, I remember the one that happened in Dallas. I think it was actually just days before the Club Q shooting and shit, where, you know, a bunch of these weirdos were just like, oh, look how cute these weirdos look. You know, they were basically just trying to make fun of them and shit, while they're ones to talk and doing all the aggressive action and shit while looking like a bunch of fucking dorks at the same time, you know? So it's like, they're gonna be looking at, you know, like, these dudes are just sitting there, you know, wearing all black and hiding their identity and shit, just like, you know, these weird chuckle fucks are, but instead of wearing all black, they're wearing, like, patriotic, jingoistic fucking Nazi shit. And it's just like, It's like, honestly, at the end of the day, who looks more fucking ridiculous? You know, it's like the person defending, you know, like, a queer space, or the dude trying to fucking incite violence at it.
Anti-LGBTQ plus rhetoric led to a mass shooting just a month ago. Well, they're still trying to encourage that again. For example, Matt Walsh responded to an account that highlighted a drag queen Christmas, which is an event that takes place every single year. It's been going on for 8 years now, and this account slanderously claimed that this is a national tour meant to, quote, groom children, when that's positively false. There's no evidence for that. But Matt Walsh signal boosted this and said, you need to understand that we are dealing with pure evil. The people doing this, the people supporting it, they are all evil. They need to be crushed and defeated. Now, let me be very clear.
Nothing less, huh? I wonder what that implies, and I wonder what that incites. And I wonder why I, especially, and many other folks on the left think that, maybe it should be, you know, encouraged for at least, you know, some left-wingers to probably, I don't know, arm up. Because, shit like that shouldn't be just seen as like some sarcastic terrorist shit or just some like, stupid bigoted bullshit that, some weirdo right-wingers, spewing as shit. That needs to be seen as basically an incitement of violence and an act of fucking, war, basically. Because, that's what these fuckers think it is. Like, to them, it's like a cultural, ideological war on saving the country from degeneracy and, pixie fairy faggotry, basically, is what they think. And they wouldn't, and to them, in their mind, they have to destroy and eliminate it at all costs and shit. That's what it is. And these motherfuckers have made it very well known that that's what they want to do and push this shit. And push for more violence and more far-right terroristic action and shit. And they haven't just limited it to just like, these individuals and, going after different spaces of protesting. They have straight up targeted infrastructure at this point. They're going far enough to the point where they're doing outright like terroristic guerrilla warfare shit. By attacking, local power infrastructure in different areas and shit, from the PNW to Moore County in North Carolina. And it's like, you think that shit's just an outlier? Because it ain't. Like, these things aren't fucking outliers. These aren't just like little like, coinkydinks just because, a few people are a little butthurt and a few, extremists in there happen to, take things a little too far. That's not what's going on. This is like a mass organized fucking effort from a loud ass fucking fascistic minority and shit. And they're well organized. They got a lot of fucking guns and they're looking to kill and do a lot of fucking bloodshed. That's what they want, and they're gonna stop at nothing for it. And that ain't alarmist. That's just reality. Like, I mean, you can't just legislate or like do civility politics or just basic direct action against that. Like, how? Like, I mean, when they're not even remotely close to even, compromise on anything, or even remotely interested in having a discussion or a conversation outside of just pushing and enforcing their doctrine, then what fucking option do you have besides to fight back against it in every way possible?
What he's doing. When you use rhetoric like that, they need to be crushed. He knows. He is tacitly calling for violence. He's
not tacitly calling for it. He's just calling for it without saying, like, hey, do violence. But he's calling for it.
Against LGBTQ plus people. And in any way, he can foster more...
I mean, because what else does it mean to be like, these people need to be crushed and defeated? What else does that fucking mean? Use violence. That's what it means.
Towards this community, that to him is a victory. And I really want people to understand that you can't get these folks like Matt Walsh or Chaya Rychik to simply tone down the rhetoric if they learn that their rhetoric is leading to violence. That's the goal. They know that their rhetoric leads to violence, and that's what they want. They want queer people to die, and they celebrate when queer people die.
Which is why they fucking continue to incite it.
Now, the reason why I wanted to talk about these testimonies is because the owner of Club Q, Matthew Haynes, demonstrates that. So listen to the messages that he received after the mass shooting.
We have received hundreds of hate comments. I cannot read them all, but I'm going to read you a few examples. I woke up to the wonderful news that 5 mentally unstable faggots and lesbians and 18 injured. The only thing I'm mad about is that the faggots had courage to subdue the wonderful killer. I hope more shootings happen. Have a blessed day.
I love that last little comment. Have a blessed day. After that, after calling you a mentally deranged faggot and all this other shit. Again, why do you think certain queer people should probably fucking arm up a little bit? Why do you think that should probably happen? Because I have no mind fucking flexing that. I don't care. Because these fucking people know what they want, and I'm willing to defend myself for it. To fight, to make sure I fucking live so these fucking people don't, get their fucking way. Like, I could show you this person what deranged really looks like. Oh, yeah. And the thing is, too, like, when it comes, like, push comes to shove, it's like, I might be a pretty calm person, but honestly, there definitely is a beast inside that don't need to be unleashed. And frankly, you know, it's like these type of motherfuckers egg on this type of shit. And it's just like, you know, at a certain point, you know, this shit does come to heel. It does come to a foot. It's just like, because what the, you know, and honestly, the only ones who ever incite that shit are these type of motherfuckers. Because I ain't here one to fucking, like, you know, go out there with my, you know, rifle or some shit and, like, cause violence. That's the exact opposite of what I want to do. I just want to have fun. I just want to plink targets with this damn thing. I just want to, like, steal targets and, like, fucking cans and stuff, you know what I mean? And maybe do some competition shooting and stuff. Like, that's what I want to do with it. You know what I mean? But, like, when push comes to shove, if someone wants to fucking, like, you know, like, shoot me and fucking kill me because I happen to be a queer person, then, well, I know what the fuck I'm using to defend myself. I'm using that. 7.62 works a little better than 5.56. The reason why the 5.56 was invented was to be around to be a competitor against the 7.62 by 39. That's why the 5.56 by 45 NATO exists. Because 7.62 was just that damn good. I went off a bit of those two paragraphs. Yeah, I kind of noticed it on that. I know you have the intelligence as a brain damaged nap, but a kid sees something that doesn't mean it will become it. Almost at most, it may make them realize that they're that thing. But you know why kids can watch something Looney Tunes and did not try to walk on air by so off cliff, because unlike you, they can tell reality from fiction. And as an ally, if some shit happens where I get some of your scat brain honest comes my way, you'll get some ass back. Same goes for that Chaya cunt, whatever her name is. Yeah, honestly, we're just going to end too quickly. Well, they use guns, so it's just like, you know, at the very least, you know, you don't want it to end too quickly because, you know, like, pants caught down, you know. That's why, honestly, at this point, I am an advocate for this stuff. I know my friend Ripsody and, you know, probably some other people, you know, in the chat probably don't necessarily agree, but it's like, this shit's kind of serious, and I know I've personally been doxxed in the past, back in 2020 when those protests are going on and shit, so I know that that shit could be very fucking serious. You know, that's why I take it fucking seriously. Because it's just like, you know, like out, you know, because one day they might be sending you some tacos or some shit to just let you know that they know your information or whatever, but the next day they're gonna come, you know, with like them and a buddy to break in and lynch you or kidnap you or some shit, or just, you know, follow you and see where you go and see where you're at, and then just pick you up from the street or some shit and do something then. Like, I mean, it's not, you know, it's not exactly a quink and dink or, you know, curious, you know, where that line goes. Because it's already fucking happened.
Doing God's work. 5 less faggots. Not enough. Those that stopped him are the devil. All.
Then praise the fucking devil. God bless. You know, well, ironically enough, God bless Satan. Well, God did create him in the first place anyway, so, you know, yeah, God bless Satan on that one. There's some God. Well, no shit.
Hate.
But I'm just saying, like, oh, if the devil stopped him, then fucking praise Satan.
Fierro, the hero who subdued the mass shooter, also received hate. Because
it's being called a groomer and all this other shit, and death threats as well. Which, honestly, you know, I'd love to see some motherfuckers try with that, because that guy's a Marine. Like, he knows how to fucking fight. Like, you don't ever mess with a motherfucker like that.
And these folks want queer people to die. The more bloodshed, the better off they think the country is going to be. So, this testimony was important because Matthew is demonstrating to the world what this is really about. It's not an oopsie daisy, did I just...
It's about inciting a new Holocaust, basically. I mean, because honestly, like, I mean, one element of, you know, helping, you know, justify, you know, that type of rhetoric and that type of systemic, like vile shit, you know, because Texas is, you know, doing this type of shit. They're creating a fucking trans registry. You know, and be like, and, you know, and a part of that is, you know, to help kind of enable and also help kind of slide in, you know, other undesirable groups and shit when it comes to, like, other minorities, like, immigrants and shit, which we have already been kind of doing that at the border anyway for a long fucking time. And when it comes to, you know, like any ally of that type of shit, and, you know, and of course, you know, like the whole, you know, Jewish part of it too, because that is also becoming a very rising sentiment, you know, where Nazistic, anti-Semitic, you know, talking points and rhetoric is just becoming more and more fucking common, thanks to motherfuckers like Nick Fuentes and Kanye West and shit. And lean into it if I were them. Yeah, I'd stop mass shooter, bitch. What the fuck have you ever fucking, have you done, you fucking failure? Yeah, for real. Outside of being a fucking hateful little, spiteful little bitch. It's like, the fuck you ever gonna do? That's why I partially, like, kind of dare some of these motherfuckers, like, cause, you know, like, even then, they would fucking fail and, be, you know, be an utter little fucking worthless little shitbag and not even be able to succeed in what they want to do, just like Aldrich. Which, frankly, that motherfucker should have been, like, put down on, you know, like, you know, by those, you know, like, the fucking heroes that, you know, were able to fucking put him down and shit. And I mean, like, down, like, 6 feet fucking under.
Violence against queer people, it's, no, they want violence against queer people. They want queer people dead. They don't care that they're causing this. They want it to happen. Now, I want to get to the testimony from the bartender who survived. We heard from him before, but he recounts the horrific details of that night, and I think what he says is really important and powerful.
I was bartending that evening when the attack began. I felt more terrified than I ever have before in my life. I ran for my life that night and hid, praying and hoping the violence would end. When I stared down the barrel of that gun, I realized I stood no chance against a weapon of that power, magazine capacity, and seemingly automatic firing rate. While I prepared for...
I guarantee you have these people spew shit or this close to put... yeah, I know I can't see it, but I know what you mean, like, this close. Yeah, you're just like... yeah, like, honestly, yeah. And frankly, like, I mean, you know, there probably is an element of where, like, when it comes to, like, you know, civil rights in the country, I'm sure some of that, you know, does happen because some of these weird far-right extremists and shit, like, oh my god, our culture is dead and everything's done, there ain't no point, bleh, and just fucking, you know, Roblox themselves. Which, you know, it's just like, I mean, in a way, that, yeah, sure, in itself is sad, because, like, I mean, someone was brainwashed into this weird, stupid fucking idea, and basically was, like, you know, thinking, like, oh, you know, reality is all crushed because this don't exist no more, and it's just like, that in itself is, but at the same time, it's like, do I really give a shit? Do I really give a fuck when, you know, an outright fucking, you know, hateful, vile fuck like that, you know, is, like, one less? Mass shooting is usually by suicide anyway. Usually.
I prayed, I panicked, and I prayed some more. God must have heard my prayers because 2 brave men stopped the...
I mean, I don't want to, like, get on them, really, but, like, this is kind of one issue that also kind of annoys me a little. It's like, God must have heard my prayers because it stopped. It's like, no, some people took action and fucking fought back against the dude. Like, I mean, that's what happened. Like, that's why I get annoyed with, like, this, so, like... you know, I prayed and God heard this because this and that or whatever. It's just like, ugh. I mean, it really just does annoy me. It's like God ain't gonna be saving you. Like, not like some weird ass miracle ain't gonna be fucking saving you. Like, supernatural ain't gonna be fucking saving you. Like, you know, laws in this case obviously it didn't save you. Like, you know, if anything, because a lot of them are just enabling and allowing this shit. So it's just like, not that type of shit is saving you. Your fucking community did. Not God. Not, you know, the laws or this, you know, or the government, local or federally. It's like, your community did. You know, the people that go to your fucking, you know, bar that, you know, love that place and love the people there and everything. Like, that's what saved it.
Where he would have inevitably found me. I saw my friend lying on the floor, bleeding out, knowing there was little to no chance of surviving that bullet wound. I had to tell him goodbye while I continued to fear for my life, not knowing if the attack was truly over. I can still hear the rapid firing of bullets today. It's a sound I may never forget. It's a sound
That's just him saying he has PTSD.
I hope no one here or anywhere else in this country has to hear.
I mean, this is a human being who is now going to be traumatized for the rest of his life because hate. It's that simple.
Because vile scumbag trash fucking rabid froth mouth fucking animals think, oh, we ought to fucking, destroy, kill off, a segment of society because we deem it as undesirable. It's like, I don't really have sympathy for this shit no more. I really don't. Like, the whole, oh, let's have a convo type of shit's over. Now, at this point, it's like, it's best that we organize and start getting real fucking serious about, quelling and, combating this. Because, evidently, having little debates or conversations and back and forth ain't what fucking does it. Like, these people not see that they work 50 hours a week and think, hey, maybe we ought to do something about this first. Yeah, no fucking shit. Strikes me an issue most Americans face regardless of race, sexual preference, or even gender. We are fucking broke. Yeah. And when so many people are in that circumstance and shit, how, it's it can be easy to get manipulated into some weird, fucking idea, get scapegoat and have a scapegoat. But it's at the same time, it's so much of the issues that are at this point are just so fucking glaring. It's just at this point, it's how can you not? Even someone that might be even lib will be yeah, we need to change some stuff and blah, blah, blah. Even though they're a little bit more bitchy and whiny and little about it, even they see that maybe things should probably change at least a little bit, even though things should probably change a fuck lot of bit. It's probably religion they relish suffering. They do. Religion has a very major propensity of guilt and suffering and basically loathing in it.
Oh.
I know I grew up in it.
One last testimony that I want to play for you is from another Club Q survivor. This is a patron. He was there with his partner, and he was actually shot along with his boyfriend, and his sister ended up dying. Listen to what he has to say, because I think his message is vitally important.
The events of November 19th were a nightmare come true, and one of my biggest fears.
I like their ties. Just a little aside.
On the eve of the Transgender Day of Remembrance, my boyfriend John Carlos and I were about to leave Club Q when a shooter walked in. Several pops rang out, and I immediately felt a searing pain in my arm. I fell over on the ground, knowing I had been shot in my right arm. It wasn't working, but I was able to call 911. I saw everyone on the ground, glass panes shattered, and blood running from my arm and chest where shrapnel had come through. John Carlos was next to me, a shot in the leg, but thankfully alive. To my horror, my sister, Charlene, was bleeding out. She had been shot over 5 times. My heart rended as she tried to dial 911 with her good arm outstretched. I called out to her, and I heard no response. I don't want to imagine what may happen had the shooter not been taken down that night. 5 wonderful people were still murdered, and may we never forget their names. Ashley Paw, Raymond Green Vance, Daniel Aston, Derek Rump, and Kelly Loving. We miss each of you. Club Q was a second home and safe space, not just for me, but for all of us. Outside of these spaces, we are continually being dehumanized, marginalized, and targeted. The fear-based and hateful rhetoric surrounding the LGBTQ+ community, especially around trans individuals and drag performers, leads to violence. It incites violence. We shouldn't have to fear being shot when we go to our safe spaces, or anywhere for that matter. Hate rhetoric from politicians, religious leaders, and media outlets is at the root of the attacks like at Club Q, and it needs to stop now. Yep. Rhetoric that makes people less than for being different. Rhetoric that threatens to silence what sports we can play, what bathrooms we can use, how we define our family, and who I can marry. Every American Every American, especially those elected to positions of power, has a responsibility and a choice to use their words consciously. Hate starts with speech. The hateful rhetoric we've heard from elected leaders is the direct cause of the horrific shooting at Club Q. We need elected leaders to demonstrate language that reflects love and understanding, not hate and fear. I urge LGBTQ plus Americans and allies to join together today as one community. Hateful people want to drive us back into closets and to live our lives in fear, but we cannot be afraid. No bullets will stop us from being proud of who we are or will injure the support and love that exists in our community.
He's right.
Damn right. Which is why, like, it's like to defend and, like, and at least, at the very least, knowing that obviously not just, within the LGBT community itself, but, like, people that support it and are obviously not, like, a part of it, like, in a sense of being, in itself, but, just being a part of it in a sense of, like, you're a fucking human being, I mean, and if anything, we'll go to a lot of these spaces or these places and shit, because honestly, like, they're like these, like, especially when it comes to, like, gay bars and shit, or, like, in these type of events, they're, like, they make a point to be, like, friendly as fuck, like, and make a point to be, like, as welcoming as hell and shit, and basically be super friendly. I mean, it's just, like, there's, because it's, like, I mean, it's meant to be, like, a vibe, it's meant to be, just, like, something that's just, like, like, a very, like, vibing place and shit. Queer community needs to become more accepting of putting more emphasis on the red part of the pride flag. A little extra red. Maybe like this type of red. Yeah, I can't, or this red. Well, I guess this is all the same red, but yeah. Maybe a little bit more bolder, a little maybe darker in color too, maybe a little bit.
Right. I want people to stop being naive about right-wingers. When the far right spotlights these drag shows, and it seems like they're trying to find every single one so they can incite violence against it, they are very specifically trying to get one of their unhinged fans to do violence. It's that simple. They know what they're doing. These aren't stupid people.
The red, I think, is a little bit more liquidy. Kool-Aid, it's a good drink. It is.
What their words are going to incite. So we need to know what their intentions are, because we can't respond according.
Their intentions are basically having queer folk and other undesirables that they deem undesirable and degenerate dead. I mean, that's their intention. It's not exactly hard to understand.
If we don't know their true motivations, we're still going to be stuck thinking, oh my god, we just have to inform them and educate them, because if they know that these aren't grooming events, then, they'll stop inciting hate. No, they know that these aren't grooming events. They know that this isn't happening. Pedophilia is not happening at these events. They have no evidence of that claim. They're specifically using this inflammatory, slanderous rhetoric because they want somebody to think that to do violence against LGBTQ plus people is going to protect children, save lives. These people are monsters. They are genuinely evil, and blood is on their hands, but that's not something that's going to discourage them. It's only going to further encourage them because they're getting what they want. So as a society, collectively, we all have to forcefully push back against these disgusting right-wing ghouls.
Now I wonder what ways you could do that with. I mean, like, honestly, like, at the end of the day, like, having a new Pink Panthers movement, really is probably, like I said, very fucking, like, I think pretty important. And I think they're kind of like, isn't like obviously I don't think it really is like official, but there kind of is a little, considering that there already are people that are like, willing to be at these spaces and defend them and protect them, in case, these like hateful, vile fucks, try to come and start shit.
People are smart enough to know that a drag event is not grooming. LGBTQ plus inclusive spaces that are family friendly is not sexualization. These are people who are simply in a safe space where they have community, where they're with other people who support them and aren't going to judge them. That's what this is. And right-wingers are infiltrating these spaces, trying to take them away from queer people. So the way that we defeat them is if we bind together and we loudly object to what they're doing. Let me show you an example of a really good way to be there to support queer.
Hey, you know what? Good on you, Mike. You know what? Like, you know, I think Mike is starting to get it. He's starting to get it too. Like, because, yeah, dude, Veterans for Equality. Dude, look at that beard, dude. This is a bro. That is a bro right there. Fuck yeah, dude. See, that's a brother in arms right there. Yeah, that's exactly what the fuck we need. We need a lot more of that. Like, a shitload more of that.
That's for equality, for example. They're showing up, and they're exercising their Second Amendment rights.
Yep.
And they're protecting queer people. Because when you...
Oh, here's some more. Yeah. Yeah, because, you know, every now and then, sometimes symbolically having one of these makes a fucking point.
And Patriot
and knocks your Bluetooth speaker over.
But to have a countering force there to also do security at the behest of queer people who are attending these events, I think that matters. I think that things like this are really important. And I'm not somebody who likes to see armed people walking around, but unfortunately we're at that point in this country where if you're going to have people there intimidating with guns, we need to have people there protecting with guns as well.
Yeah, this is what I've been saying for some years now.
And I've
been saying this since 2020 especially. And honestly, like, even from, like, other lefties, I caught flack for that shit. Because, I mean, on Twitch, there would, you know, especially because I was active, you know, doing protest streams out there and shit. Like, I mean, you know, there would be a lot of lefties that would tune in and, you know, check out my streams when I come back home and do these. And honestly, I would talk this, you know, and, you know, advocate these very same things, and people would be like, that's too far. And it's like, are you fucking sure about that? And I was always considered alarmist or too extreme or too radical, but hey, what the fuck do you know? It's as if that, like, you know, if you don't actually address the issue and make a fucking point about it, then they get more enabled and emboldened. And it gets to a point where it's like, oh shit, you know, maybe we probably should, after, like, you know, like, our own spaces are now literally getting shot the fuck up. It's like, you didn't see this coming? I saw some of this shit coming. I just didn't know when. You're like, Paul, you end up being right. I mean, if there's something that, you know, being a polisher, I guess, has, you know, taught me, is that usually, you know, having a opinion that a lot of people usually, you know, kind of, like, give you shit for, especially, like, if you're coming from the left on an issue, you usually end up being right about it later. Because a lot of those people usually come down, like, you know, usually either months or weeks, you know, like weeks, months, or in this case, even years, you know, and be like, oh, you might have been right. It's just like, am I gonna get, like, you know, hey, you're probably right about that? It's like, no. But, you know, yeah, it's like, I'm at least glad that, you know, people are at least seeing that. Because I'm not a guy that would just, you know, like, I'm gonna rub it in necessarily. Well, maybe to a couple people. But, I mean, you know, like, at least when it comes to the issue overall, I'm glad that at least now it's, you know, becoming more of a, you know, advocacy. At least they're admitting they were wrong. Yeah, that's rare these days. Well, I mean, it is, sadly. But, I mean, that's why at least, like, people like, you know, Mike or, yeah, and, you know, like other people like him and shit, because they usually, you know, are honest and open about being wrong. And TJ, too, because, I mean, in his video about his anti-SJW days, I think really exceptionally proves that, too. You know, so it's like, there's, you know, there's a lot of people, I mean, even Paul to an extent, like, if there's some stuff he's like, yeah, I was kind of wrong about it, like, and he don't own up to it. It's like, that's why I like, you know, like, that's why actually, even with their flaws or maybe even disagreements, I do genuinely like them, you know, because I respect that they're an actual honest fucking person on the internet, which is rare these days. Or, yeah, I mean, not just on the internet, but just as a person.
But I think that people who are showing up, including anti-fascists who are showing up armed to protect queer people and drag queens and children from these right-wing fascists and terrorists, these people are absolutely doing the Lord's work. It's really important. So there's nothing left to say. We have to bind together as a country and a community and let this vocal minority know that their terrorism and harassment against queer people is not going to be tolerated.
Damn right. Yeah, it actually kind of reminds me. I know there was like the Demon Mom stream a while back where she actually like showed herself at the range. I want to see if I can find it. Because she actually is a pretty decent shot. I need to get back on the range myself. I need to fucking get back into the groove of that. Get my training, you know, de-rusted. I think it was this one, y'all. I think. Is it? Yeah. Or is there another one? Yeah, actually, I think it was another one. This one? It! Nope. Come back. I like how she has them all chaptered up, so as long as I can find the one that has it's mentioned in one of those chapters, I'll find it. Boo. Which one is it? I know it was a very recent one. What the hell? This one? Man, was it actually that far back? What the fuck? Now I'm butthurt. Now I'm getting butthurt. Boo. Yeah, whatever. But I definitely need to get back on the range myself, though. I know a little spot that I always kind of like to go to and shit. And honestly, at this point, yeah, I even might be snowed in. Ooh. That'd be fun. Especially if it's at least during the day, then that snow would actually kind of help kind of add more light. Ooh, that'd be nice. Honestly, there's like a lot of different places, you know, to like kind of set up a little spot to go shooting if you wanted to around here. Because depending on, like, as long as it's not like, you know, a private property area or like a national park and shit, you know, it's like, you should be okay. Like, you know, because if you can find like a little off-road that's off of the main road and then just kind of like set up a spot like on the side of a hill or something like that, and then just like set shit up on the side of the hill, then you're fine. And that's usually what I do, because the little spot that I have has like this cool little like trench thing that's next to this little like strip of field, and on the side of that field is just like, you know, a little hill that just goes up. So it's fucking perfect for, you know, setting up as like a little target range. Speaking opinions people don't agree with, if I have one. Oh. Well, Xmas needs to be moved further into winter. I'm sorry, but most of the season takes place in fall. There's absolutely no buffer between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Yeah, there's barely a buffer. Like, I just, you know, like, it's a week, you know, till Christmas, basically, or some shit, or whatever. Like, 9 days or something. It's just like, what the fuck? It's like, it's like, already around the corner. It's like, Jesus. Put Valentine's is December, and Xmas is January, February. Well, I mean, the thing is, so, like, that kind of would go contrary to, like, how, you know, the whole, you know, holidays, I guess, like, kind of came to be in a way, I guess, just because, like, Valentine's Day is basically supposed to be, what, like, a signifier of his death or some shit, of, like, St. Valentine or some shit, and obviously December's, like, around, like, the winter solstice and shit. Some will say, but Rose, not everywhere that celebrates Christmas is during winter. Fuck them. Fuck them. It's like, fuck them, they don't serve it. They'll get it during, like, their springtime or some shit. Oh, my lord. We have 1911 at home. What is this? It's a little short.
Can I have a 1911?
Honey, we have...
Ah, that was loud. Jesus.
Ma, can I have a 1911?
Honey, we have a 1911 at home. The 1911 at home.
What's the...
Something's wrong with this 1911, though. I mean, single stack, so yeah, that's fine.
The hammer seems okay.
Spur. Single action.
Yeah, what's up with it?
Bushing. I mean, it does have one of those shiny things on the outside. No cornhole there. I don't know. Something just doesn't seem right. You guys are pretty good at telling me what's wrong with my shit, so go ahead and leave it in the comments.
Really? You're not gonna say what the fuck it is?
What's wrong with my 1911?
Yeah, what's up with it? Is there something wrong with it? Alright. God damn it. Ain't got no bolts in it. Carl Childers. I saw it wasn't Winchester. All things my disappointment is mentioned one of the days. What? It's around the front, bottom of grip, external extractor, but give it its pivot pin above the triggers. Spanish star model beat. I'm pretty sure they were 9mm by the odd shape of the mag base. Oh, is this a Spanish? Is this a Spanish pistol? Hold on, let me look at it again, actually.
I have a 1911.
Honey, we have a 1911 at home. The 1911 at home.
Alright, let's see. Alright, there's gonna definitely... okay, maybe that little silver thing on the side is a thing. Okay. Oh, right here. Serial number. There's a little logo down there. That's... yeah. Ooh, yeah, that definitely, you know, is different.
1911, though.
Okay, now that someone mentioned that it's a Spanish model 9mm, now I'm seeing it. And yeah, it's not 45 either.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh wait, oh,
Spur.
oh, I see something on the side of that slide.
Single action.
There's like some lettering. Oh, that bastard.
Bushing.
Come on. Ah, no. Other way.
I mean, it does have one of those shiny things on the outside.
Oh my god, he's doing this purposely.
No cornhole there. I don't know.
Okay, here we go. Doesn't really say. It's like faintly ingrained. Damn.
Right.
Must be either well worn or something.
You guys are pretty good at telling me what...
Well, I think that, well, it definitely is a 9mm for sure. Not playing, but I do have a new solution. If China and USA could celebrate New Year at different points, same thing with Thanksgiving with Canada. Why can't Xmas be celebrated different? Points when it's actually cold in countries. And you know, who does this ultra win for? Christmas haters, assuming they have the money this time of year. You can't escape Christmas unless you go to Saudi Arabia or some shit. Imagine if you just fly to Australia, because right now it's summer, and they want to have Xmas. Right now is my hypothetical. Now that would actually be nice. Just be like, hey, I want to escape Christmas, so I could just go to the, you know, Australia, go to the southern hemisphere, then, you know, go up to the northern hemisphere during spring and summer and shit. So I literally don't have to worry about it. Dude, that'd be nice. Oh, look at you. You just look like a little cute boy. You need to stop looking adorable. Was that you? If you're in Xmas mood afterward, you could just go somewhere that celebrates it aside from those Xmas towns, which are kind of creepy. Oh yeah, yeah. Those weird-ass Christmas towns are like 24/7, 365 Christmas. It's like, ugh. Creepy. Shooting at Ishapur? What's it, Ishapur? What the hell is this? What is this? Is it a 7.62 or 8 mil? Oh, bolt action. Oh, it's bolt. Oh. Oh, that bolt slide. Oh, the sound of that bolt slide. Oh, goddamn. I want a bolt action. Oh, so such a slick action. Oh. Nice. Oh, damn, that is a nice, beautiful looking rifle right there. It's been made by the Ishapur Rifle Factory in West Bengal, India, which is very close to my home. Wow, so it's a Indian rifle. Dude, that's dope. Oops. Dude, that is cool. See, that's why I like, that's why I like rifles and shit, and like, guns and stuff. At least when it comes to like, shit from the, like when it comes to history and stuff, because that's just like a really cool little piece of history. Yeah, so I mean, that's the main reason why I like him a lot, because that's just like, like I said, just really cool piece of history. Just learned that a little bit. I didn't know what Ishapur really stood for, but I'm assuming it's like a British licensed, Indian, obviously manufactured rifle, I'm assuming. Because I know in India they also made Lee Enfields there too, that are actually just a little different to British made Lee Enfields. I don't even make this, I don't make this a year-round thing. Yeah, for real. I mean, there's a lot of shit that I just cannot make year-round. I mean, I don't even know what I could make year-round, honestly. Like, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe like, barbecue parties, but even then I get sick of it. Well, I don't know. Maybe I could just like, 420. Well, I do. I'm not even counting that. But like, I mean, but when it comes to like, I don't know, having like a barbecue party or something like that, I mean, like, you could actually alternate it with like different styles of barbecue, like Korean barbecue and stuff, and like different styles of American barbecue. So I guess there's a way to, change that up a little bit. So I suppose you could have like barbecues year round too, as long as you did it differently each time. Just because if you did the same thing over and over again every day, like the same style barbecue, you would get sick of it. But if you, had an ability to have like any type of barbecue and just have the ingredients right then and there ready to go for that day, then, for whichever you were thinking. Like if you're like, all right, tomorrow I think I'll go for, some Korean style barbecue today, tomorrow. And then like, just plan it out, and then like those days you'll have like, Jamaican then like I'll have some Korean barbecue for Monday. I think Tuesday I'll do some good old style Texan barbecue, and I think, I think I'll do some, on Wednesday, I think I'll do some Jamaican barbecue, It's like, I mean, just go down, I mean, like, if you're able to at least, like, change it up a little bit, like, hell yeah. And honestly, I'm sure there's kind of a limited sense of, like, what barbecue style, like, foods are around the world, but, we, experiment, it's like, create your own, so you can also do that, too. I'm sure German barbecue, is a thing, so There you go. Do some of that. Get some sauerkrauts and bratwursts. Shit, okay. I'm starting to get hungry. Oh. I see a Patreon notification here. Oh, so DFF is going live today. Man, they are on a tirade about cops. Going live, worst cops. Didn't they just do a Monday episode about shitty cops? Well, you know, they deserve the scrutiny. Fuck cops. Honestly, the Portland subreddit was fucking, like, weird the last 2 days. Like, yesterday there was, like, something where, like, the Portland subreddit was, like, praising cops a little bit. And then there was, like, 2 articles today that were on the Portland subreddit where people were saying, fuck cops. And it's just, like... it's like, what is this weird huckamaloo? It's, like, this weird, like, you know, weird just, like, flip of a coin, you know, consensus that, you know, people have. What is this? Big ball, small cock. What the fuck? You're a fart head? Damn, dude. How will I ever recover, man? Damn. Just fucking wrecked. Just, damn. Well, you know what? YouTube career is just retired before we even started. Damn. Damn. Well, time to call it here, folks. Damn. I just look over and I see that just out of nowhere, just like, okay, that just like for me for a loop. What the fuck? I mean, it's like, you know, I don't have a rebuttal for it, so, you know, yeah, I guess it's true. So whatever. Whatever, I'll just accept it. I'll just let it be. Let it be, let it be. I could take being called a piece of fucking worthless shit, but a fart head, that's fucking hardcore. I know, dude. It's hardcore shit, because, like, how do you even, like, how do you recover from that? Like, how do you even rebuke to that? I mean, it's like, damn. It's like, what? It's like, truly, however will I recover? I mean, how's my ego gonna be able to just, like, scab over this wound and just, like, heal it over and just, like, survive, you know? It's like, it's so gnarly, it's like, that shit's gonna, you know, get septic, you know? It's like, damn. Just tarnished. Cops are fart heads. Well, that is true. That is very agreeable. Cops are 100% fucking fart heads. Or being called a jerk, yeah. I mean, being called a jerk is like, you know, middle school stuff. But a fart head, though, that right there is some hardcore shit. Here, whatever little things can be on the tube. While we contemplate just the recovery I still need to have. New York bans retail sale of dogs, cats, and rabbits to combat puppy mills. Well, I mean, couldn't you just, like, heavily regulate it better? Like, is it like a temporary ban? Have the opportunity to work with shelters to get rescued or banned animals adopted. So, man, I guess it doesn't, it doesn't say if it's temporary or not. 2017, California became the first state to ban such sales, with Washington, Maine, Maryland, and Illinois following suit. Oh, so other states have done this too. Well, I mean, I'm not really against it. So. A massive meteorite plunged to Earth along with alien minerals never seen in nature. Whoa. But it's locked behind a paywall because it's National Geographic. Fuck you, National Geographic. It's some unknown date in the past, bringing it with at least 3 minerals not found naturally on Earth. And of course, it's behind a paywall, so let's see if a hunk of metal came flying from outer space to our planet, as did many things. A gift from the universe. We also found stronger version of diamonds in a meteorite a few months ago, which is dope because it would lead to even better diamond tip tools, which can help us understand what other metals we could potentially discover after. Yeah. Pretend it's free, then cut you off as you're reading the article. Yeah, that's why I hate the paywall bullshit. Update to periodic table if new elements is detected. We don't want outdated tables. So everyone's about like update periodic table. Oh yes, the Alien MDMA. Alien MDMA, dude. Damn, I love it. Awesome. There goes the periodic table of elements. People are just like, no, it's gonna be gone now. And it's like, come on. I'm gonna update it with like some rare ass minerals and shit. They're alien to our world, which is pretty cool. Always like discovering new space shit and like new stuff that comes with space. It's just like, whoa. They finally made it home after hearing their brethren's call. It was this. They finally made it home after the brethren's call. The octopus. Like, I for one welcome our octopus overlords a little bit. They're pretty cool. They're cool animals. Are they kind of weird and quirky? Yeah, but they're intelligent as fuck and really fucking cool. So, I mean, I don't know. I like them. And they're fucking, like, crazy-ass escape bars, too. Paul, see? Fuck told you. But did you listen? No. Oh, that actually reminds me. On the Onion Nuggets, when they were doing, like, one of the other tiers, like, with the, or, like, the segment where they were doing, like, the little tier list, they did one on, like, some various different things that were potatoes. And pancakes came up. And, oh, man, it led to pretty much being the best segment, honestly, of the show. Because, like, TJ was just like, oh, fuck yes, that has to be an A tier. And Paul's like, oh my god, that's garbage. And then TJ was like, no. And I went, oh, no. Paul, they are the schmedden. And he doesn't even like potato pancakes. I no true Irishman. That is not a true Irishman in my eyes. And I'm just like, no, Paul. It's like, I'm polished through and through. I usually agree with you, but no. This is one where you are truly wrong. Paul hates pancakes. Well, at least I think, potato pancakes is finally right about something. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no, no, no. Oh, no. But, bro, like, okay, here, let me continue, though. Nah, I like him fine. I'm just kidding, but, I mean, realistically, I don't care if he doesn't like him or not. But I was just in the chat being like, no, I thought you were a tradishman, Paul. And it's like, I'm just like, how dare you have betrayed your ancestors. And then TJ was just like, oh, it looks like Tucker or some dude, I think it was Tucker White. It's like, oh, he agrees with you. Fucking Ignore says you're a moron. Even though I never said that. And then I'm just like, TJ, you asshole. I didn't say he was a moron. Just like, what the fuck? And then Paul just, like, lays up on me. It's like, yo, Ignore, I know you. It's like, I've seen you around. It's like, I know you're a Tajika fan. I'm just like, oh. I'm just like, no. It's like, TJ, you gaslit me. It's like, you bastard. It's like, damn, dude. It's like, it was just fucking great. And I'm just like, Paul, no. It's like, I just truly disagree with you with this one. I am a polisher, you asshole. Fuck you. It's like, damn. I love it. It was just such a fucking hilarious moment to me, because it's like the truest, like, disagreement that, seeing TJ and Paul disagree on that hardcore was funny enough, but then just, like, that extra added, like, getting the chat involved, and then just, like, call him my ass. It's like, no, you fucking bastard, TJ. It's like, you son of a bitch. It's like, straight up, like, if you go on that, that gets, from this Wednesday, and go in that segment and see the live chat, I did not call Paul a moron. TJ just like, nah, I see something that, oh, well, just he thinks you're a moron. It's just like, what? It's like, you bitch. It's like, fuck you, TJ. It's like, man, I love him, but what a bastard. I mean, potato donuts are a thing, so I don't see why I want to work with pancakes. And to be clear, those things are called potato cakes, which are more savory. Ooh.
Donuts from the Great Depression. Now, I say that disrespecting donuts should carry a life sentence, so let's see if we're going to jail today, huh? Pig oil, 2 russets. A lot of things start with potatoes. French fries, hash browns, famine, communism. Potatoes.
Communism.
Yes, I've noticed that with men, too. Once the potatoes are cool, we add a cup of buttermilk, pack of yeast, 4 teaspoons of baking powder, and a half teaspoon of soda. Half cup of melted butter. Don't kill the yeasty boys. They're working very hard. 4 eggs. 7 of them. Add enough flour to make it dough. Putting your faith in the wrong man. Sugar! 2 cups. Told you not to trust me. This took about 6.5 cups of flour. Now we let it rise for an hour. This is the first time we're deep frying. Nope. Seen me sugar? Oh! Best donut I've made.
I love his little dance, dude. It's like, oh yeah. Like, I love his little dance, dude. I love how he's just vibing with it. See, Paul? Pancakes can be done just like that, too. So, well, maybe not literally fried, but, it's like, it could work, jerk. A lot of flour. It does. I mean, to be fair, but hey, it ends up being an amazing, delicious, yummy treat of awesomeness. Oh, you son of a bitch. I love this thing. It's my little toka poker, but it's actually what used to be a dart. You can see where the thread would be, to put the dart tail of it. Deep frying scares me. I've done it for 7 years. I'm used to it. I've, like, straight up, like, I mean, even cleaning the fucking things have burnt myself on that shit. I just don't give a shit anymore. It's like, oh, splash oil on my hand. Ah, fuck. Well, that hurt. All right, back to it. I literally just don't give a shit no more. I know my way around a deep fryer. It's whatever to me. So, like, you say it scares you, I accept its challenge. at that little baby. Look at that little baby. Oh, he's just so cute. Little sweet thing. I love how that pops up like so long after it's well after I saw it initially. Wow. And then that shows up right off the bat. Speaking of which, I never learned under any circumstances to fry a frozen turkey. I've heard a story yesterday where a guy tried to do that and died from agonizing burns a day later. Yeah, never. I mean, you really shouldn't be frying anything specifically frozen, unless it's something small, like, you know, like a chicken tender. Like, you can get that from a frozen thing and fry it in there, and as long as it's in like a pretty, you know, decent sized pot, you should be okay. But like turkey or like even like bone-in wings and stuff, like actually we have bone-in wings and, you know, for our deli and shit, and because there's like ice chunks on them usually. Like, usually what I do is I kind of, like, shake the bag up a little bit and open it up and pull them out individually from on there. And then I dip it and pull it out because there's still going to be some ice left on them. And basically that immediately will start melting the ice and some of it falls off into the fryer and causes, like, you know, everything bubbling up for a minute. So I let it do that for a second and then let it simmer, you know, start not bubbling up so much and then, you know, put it back down there and then, you know, and then it's fine. So it's like frying, you know, at least when it comes to things that are frozen, there's some tricks, you know, to it depending on what it is. But a frozen turkey, don't fucking do that. Just that's insane. That's a bad idea. When his ass remained unscathed, imagine if that's the only part of him in the casket. It does look nice. It's like, you know, now that that's like the only thing that hasn't been touched, I mean, he really did have a nice ass. Yeah. Imagine how stupid that would be for your family to explain. Yeah, my brother died in a freak turkey deep fried accident, dude. That would, I mean, it would make for a pretty, like, weird story, but, you know, like, depending on how the family is, I mean, I could kind of see maybe some of the family members making a weird ass little, you know, quips and jokes about it. You know, like gallows humor stuff, maybe. But, I don't know. I mean, it just kind of depends on who the folks are, I guess. He was pretty hot. Yeah, you know, at least we all know that when he went out going pretty hot. Yeah, some shit like that. You know, because honestly, depending on that dude, yeah, like, I mean, it sounds like a guy that probably did some weird, quirky shit that end up, you know, being pretty amusing. I would imagine, you know, like, just, you know, like the, hey, watch this and hold my beer guy, you know, like, that guy, you know. So I imagine there's honestly some funny stories. So I imagine his folks probably do have at least, you know, at least some fond memories nonetheless. So it's like, hey. You know, like, when it comes to, you know, people and shit, like, I mean, a lot of people generally be like, I'd rather people, you know, just think fondly and, you know, if anything, celebrate and have the good memories, blah, blah. So, like, you know, if anything, that's probably how it was, especially if, like, his ass was the only thing that was basically not burnt. You know, there's definitely some, you know, there's at least going to be a couple jokes about that. That's why if you ever deep fry a turkey, make sure it's thawed. B, take safe precautions, and C, make sure to lower the turkey slowly. Maybe try to hook chain. Yeah, or like, you know, like like a rope, so you can kind of lower it in there, you know, slowly as well. Because if you have the rope, you know, kind of like in the fryer, it's not a big deal. Well, I mean, I guess if you want to try to pull it out, but I mean, you know, it's whatever. But yeah, hook chain, you know, like, there's tools that you can use to pull those fuckers out. Or a basket, too. Like, usually, well, we have industrial fryers, so, you know, we usually have, like, you know, baskets that we can put it in and lower in there and take it out. And never do it when it's raining. True. Don't fry in the open like that. A guy did it outside and became a human fireball. Oh my god. Yeah, see, those are people being stupid with, deep frying. Like, I actually know my way around deep fryers and shit. Like, so I would know how to do it. Basically, if someone's gonna be doing some deep frying, make sure I'm around. But, anyway, it's a little after 4. I'm gonna, go out and deal some shit. Do some bullshit, then come back in a little bit later. Macy Star Show's arrived. Yeah, as I'm literally about to smoke my last bowl and do some errands and stuff. But nice entry. You could just cut turkey pieces, deep fry up separately. That works better, actually. It works better to separate the pieces. Take us with you. I can't. And I can't stay either. It isn't exactly shit that I could just do later. So, yeah. It's a thing that I must do. But alas, like I said, how we 10. All said, done. It's like, calm your titties. Jafe. Oh, so you're just gonna leave, huh? Leave to get the milk like my dad 20 years ago? Well, with that attitude, yeah. That attitude made my well. Crash chain this bitch. Oh god, fuck no. But anyway, like I said though, I'll return. I will be back around 9, possibly. But like 5 hours. You'll be fine. You'll live. So anyway, I'm back in a little bit.